an epiphany right now that's so strong, I'm like shaking. I have to share this with you. Okay, so in the previous video, I gave this guy a quote, and I slowed down, and not that I don't already do this, a fully detailed, itemized, strategic, sequenced out quote with a structure and a framework and expectations and the pricing for everything times 0.22%. What I would normally used to charge $1,800 for is $4,221. After sitting in my truck preparing all this, and I'm going to send it to him in a completely itemized actual quote on the internet with QuickBooks. Before I even waste that time, I'm going to find out if the guy's interested, because this is my epiphany. I give the guy the handwritten quote of the carbon copy with my... This is so... When I meet you guys at conventions, I have people come up to me sometimes. Okay, so these are my quotes. All the service, terms of use, contract, everything's signed and dated. It's okay. It's not like it's in like a presented folder with the stickers, with our policies and all that, which it needs to be, right? I give the guy the quote and I explain it all to him. I said, we'll come here, we'll do this, and these phases as you requested, everything we've discussed. This phase will cost this much, this will cost this much, this will cost this much, and this will cost this much. And it'll take us 3 days, and it'll cost you, it'll be $4,221. And the guy was like hiding his emotion because he was like, yeah, he was a really nice guy, and you could tell that they had a little bit of money for this middle class area, not like they're rich or anything. And he was like, okay, well, thank you very much. And I sat in my truck for like 30 minutes preparing all this and doing all this math, which was a great exercise. In that moment, here's my epiphany. Here's my epiphany. Here's my epiphany. Here's my epiphany. When I gave the guy the quote and spent all that time explaining everything and how we're a fully insured company, and if some other company is this, they might not be insured. Everything's covered on your property. We're the highest rated and reviewed landscaping business in this city on Google. We are. He said, I saw that and I was very impressed. Once I finally took the time and the full responsibility to do all that, and I was serious, here's my epiphany. What the hell am I doing quoting $4,000 landscaping jobs? What am I doing quoting $800 jobs? What am I doing running around trying to make $300 and $400 and $500? Do you know what I said to my friend Eric Reno? I go, how the F are you making $3.2 million a year? How are you making this much money in personal income? How did you go from an apartment to a condo to a house to a bigger house to a bigger house into a fucking mansion in the same amount of time? I'm still running out here landscaping, doing $150,000 a year. Well, my media business too. He says, well, how much is your average ticket per job? I go, I don't know. Our average job is about $650. It's $200 to edge of the garden beds, if you're asking. He goes, well, my average roof job is between $10,000 and $15,000. He goes, we make the same exact amount of profit margin, Keith. If you do $300 jobs and you're making 30% and it takes you half a day, you're only making $100. If you're doing a $3,000 job and you're making 30%, you're making $1,000. If you do a $30,000 job and it takes you, it's probably gonna take you more than half a day, but you're making $10,000 off that. So it hits you like a ton of bricks. The truth is the truth is the truth is the truth. You could try to deny it and stay in denial, or I'll just work harder. Oh man, I'll just work harder. We'll try to do more. You can't build and scale a business unless there's money coming in. And the pinnacle of all of it, the top of the pyramid, is the sale, the ticket price of each item or the volume. A business makes money in 3 ways. It either raises prices, lowers costs, or number 3 is expands. But it cannot expand unless you expand in a legal business, which I think is the stupidest thing you could ever do. Why would you have 3-4 trucks out with a bunch of guys that you're paying cash that aren't insured? They don't have workman's comp. You don't even have a proper commercial policy on the vehicles. And these guys are running around with weed whips that could I'm not saying if anybody is on here. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about myself. Because I'm just terrified of that. You're paying these guys cash and 1099ing them, and they're running around with weed whips when they could literally... What if the mom is walking with a baby in a stroller, and the guy's like, and he's listening to his rap music, and a weed whip slings a rock and hits the mother of the baby in the face, or blows out a window? What if a guy's edging, and then he's shooting rocks, and it just smokes somebody's brand new car in their driveway, puts dents all over the car, right? What if a guy is like operating like your broken piece of shit walk behind, and the thing messes up and like jabs him in the ribs and breaks his rib or something, or he like breaks his foot and goes to the hospital? I don't know. So you mean to tell me you're trying to grow this big, extremely risky business where you could end up in a courtroom or end up broke, living in a dumpster, like being audited by the IRS and sitting in a courtroom and being like $1 million in debt, and losing your whole family and end up living on the street or on somebody's couch? So, because you were trying to make a little more than you would have made in a job? Oh, I was for $100 or $200 or $300 a day? I wouldn't take on that type of risk unless I was getting rich and I had enough money to put away for legal and could afford attorneys. What do these big companies do? They do a cost-benefit analysis. They say, if we do this semi-shady thing, we have plenty of money to pay for legal fees. If you don't even have enough money for an attorney, or all these things are just hitting me, dude. It's so like, I can't believe it's taken 6 years for this shit to hit. It's been hitting me all along, but now it's really like, it's literally gone overboard to it's like blatantly... So, here's another thing. I don't know if I want to tell that story. Oh, did I get the job? No, not yet. I really tried to close it. And I have a good feeling I'm going to get it, because I think I'm so detailed when it comes to customers. I'm like not tooting my own horn. I really, really feel the customer and try to communicate in a way that mimics and mirrors their neural patterns, so they feel like, wow, like this guy is literally, I already, and he's going to go on the wife, he's going to go into his house and talk to his wife and say, honey, I know that they're going to do a good job, right? You know what's funny? If I'm speaking to the wife, I'll actually won't act crazy like this. I get really calm. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. So the tree here, we'll trim and shape it, and then I'll put down 2 yards of mulch. Yeah, you're in good hands. So what I mean by that is the whole masculine feminine thing. If you, I can't believe I'm admitting this, because of the society, the culture, the depolarization, and the shift of masculine feminine consciousness, women, the way, if you're a contractor, I think if you have that masculine spine, and a woman can feel that, and it's not a sexual thing whatsoever at all, it's just pure energy and presence, they will trust you more and want to hire you. And then they might be the one that tells the husband, because behind all the men, it's the women that are calling the shots. Because if you really just shut up and listen to these men, these husbands, when you walk around the properties with them, they will say things like, and the wife really wants this done. I'm out here slaving, scooping shit to make money because my wife wants this landscape job done because she's sick of looking at it and she won't stop bitching at it. So if the wife wants it done, the shit's getting done. It doesn't really matter. So, aside from my emotion right now, I've quoted the job and I added 0.22%. And last week I quoted a job and I doubled the price and the customer said, I want you to do it anyways. So this is it. I want you guys to do this too. Raise your prices so high that it's enough to afford the lifestyle that you want. Have the confidence in the backbone and be bold. Because your life depends on it. We will not live in the houses that we do property for. We won't live in these type of houses that we're out working in front of if we don't do this. I know in the Contractor Sales Academy, slow down and let it come to you. Yeah, absolutely. The Contractor Sales Academy, Steve Schinhauser, this dude's a badass. He'll get on the phone with the customer about installing like a $50,000 pond, and he won't even show up to the customer's house until the customer's verbally agreed over the phone that they have a budget of 20, 30, 40, 50,000, and now we're talking business. He's like, I'm not even showing up until I know for sure that I'm showing up to collect a deposit check. I'm not driving across town to give you free advice. And he's serious, bro. And the customers pay it because he's catered to that market. So how can we implement that to our business where we have a phone conversation with the customer first to find out where they're at? You know, I know when it comes to installing ponds and things like that, you have an idea. A pond is a pond. It's not like a property with different complex things going on. So have I ever left tree branches on a property? Hell yeah. We give customers a discount for that. Hey, it's called a leave-all. My buddy William loves that stuff. He calls them leave-alls because you can leave all this shit in the backyard and bounce. It cuts their price in half because most of the work is taking the shit away. You can go up in a tree all day and make it rain. But, alright, cool. Later.